The American Indian Movement. The American Indian Movement, AIM, began in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the summer of 1968. It began when 200 people from the Minneapolis Native American community turned out for a meeting. This meeting was organized by a group of Native American community activists, including George Mitchell, Dennis Banks, and Clyde Bellecourt. Frustrated by discrimination and broken treaty policies, the people at the meeting talked about the important issues facing the Native American community in Minneapolis. American Indian movement leaders spoke out against racism faced by the Native American community. They were also concerned with the lack of good paying jobs and safe housing for the Native American community in Minneapolis. The American Indian movement fought for treaty rights and the return of lands back to Native American tribal nations. The American Indian movement opened the K-12 Heart of the Earth Survival School in 1971 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. In 1972, they organized the Trail of Broken Treaties March on Washington, D.C., where they took over the Bureau of Indian Affairs office and demanded change. The American Indian movement drew the full attention of the FBI and the CIA. The FBI and CIA then set out to stop the movement. The FBI and CIA hired people to infiltrate the movement and spied on movement leaders. In February 1973, members of the American Indian movement took over the small Indian community of Wounded Knee, South Dakota, to protest the government. When FBI agents were sent to South Dakota to remove the occupiers, a standoff began between the FBI and members of the American Indian movement. The standoff lasted for 71 days. 2 people were killed, 12 people were wounded, and 1,200 people were arrested. The Wounded Knee occupation drew worldwide attention to the challenges facing Native Americans in the United States. All right, so that's the article. And then the questions that you need to answer are 1. Where did the American Indian movement begin? 2. What year did the American Indian movement begin? 3. What were the leaders of the American Indian movement frustrated with? Number 4. How did the FBI and CIA respond to the American Indian movement? And number 5. Why was the Wounded Knee occupation an important moment in history? All right, do your best. You can read it again or listen to it again if you need to. And make sure you write complete sentences. Thanks, boys and girls. Do your best. Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Bye.